Did you know that counting calories and staying on a long term calorie restricted diet can be very stressful? Like I said in my previous videos, the underlying reason for why diets fail is stress related. In today's video, I am talking about nutrition and the diet process itself. How dietary restraint causes cognitive load. Monitoring calories uses up the brain's limited attention and increases how much stress you feel. Obesity researchers have a name for this kind of long term dieting mentality: cognitive dietary restraint. It has also shown to be detrimental to our telomere length. Telomere shortening is directly associated to aging. Calorie restrictive diet do work, but I have also seen these calorie crunching processes ruin more physiques than I have seen it create. To build muscle, get lean, or even ripped, I have never really bought into the whole calorie counting and crunching thing. Janet Tomiyama, now a psychology professor in UCLA, conducted a study during her postdoctoral fellowship at the UCSF. She managed to round up a group of people from across United States who were successful at long-term calorie restriction for an intensive study where she also examined telomeres in different blood cell types. What she found was that the telomere in the immune cells were slightly shorter. Improving our metabolic health is more important than losing weight. The metabolic and physiological processes that underlie body composition are very complex, yet people are told time and time again to lose weight. It basically comes down to delicate balancing act between calories in versus calorie out. The careful calculation and manipulation of just the right amount of calories each day, for example protein, carbs and fats, to achieve a calorie deficit. Most health conscious people know how many calories are there in a gram of fat, carb or protein. If you are someone who diets by calorie counting and cutting, here's something to consider. Virtually everything we think we know about calories is probably wrong. The caloric assessments that determine the values of our macronutrients is based on science that's almost 150 years old. The respiration calorimeter, developed by the great American chemist Wilbur Olin Atwater in the 19th century, calculated the energy content of various foods by burning small samples in controlled conditions and measuring the amount of energy released in the form of heat. Using this method, Atwater was able to estimate that carbohydrates and proteins provide an average of 4 calories per gram, while fats provide 9 calories per gram. These values were always meant to be approximate, but somehow they became measurements of metabolizable energy carved into stone by calorie counters the world over. How the food is prepared and cooked, or even how well we chew it, can all make a significant difference. Our bodies don't incinerate food, they digest it. Chewing, movement through the gut, and chemical breakdown of food require energy, the amount which varies from food to food. According to some studies, the type of protein, carbs, or fats you consume can change the number of calories your body extracts from a meal by up to 25%. How the food is prepared and cooked, or even how well you chew the food, can all have a significant effect on the amount of energy obtained or stored from the meal. The nutritional information obtained from the Atwater system has been used for food labeling throughout the world for well over 100 years. Some highly regarded food scientists keep pointing out that as long as this is the case, our food labels will often underestimate or overestimate the amount of calories contained per serving as much as 25%. That is enough to derail any attempt to get lean. Over time, it could even lead to fat gain. One example is dietary fiber. The energy estimate for fiber is 2 calories per gram. Obviously, fiber is more resistant to mechanical and chemical digestion than other forms of carbohydrate. Human beings have only a few genes to manufacture digestive enzymes as compared to gut microbes that have well over 100. Dietary fiber also provides energy for gut microbes to function. All of these factors combined can reduce the energy derived from fiber to 1.5 calories per gram. That's a reduction in available energy of at least 25%. In a similar manner, the effect of dietary protein on the metabolism has also been underestimated. Protein is the most thermogenic of all the micronutrients. According to some studies, due to the large amount of calories released as heat during the digestion process, the number of calories available from protein should be reduced from 4 calories per gram to 3.2 calories per gram. That's a 20% decrease. It also appears as that the texture of a food or how much we chew a mouthful of food can make remarkable difference in the number of calories we obtain from the food. Studies that have investigated the effect of food texture on weight maintenance reveals that easy to chew foods can result in easier storage of energy as fat compared to the same amount of calories from foods that are more difficult to chew. Just a few years ago, scientists at the University of Texas, Galveston Medical Branch, Texas, USA, completed a series of studies that examined the immediate impact of nutrient timing and exercise. These studies demonstrated that when the right proteins and carbohydrates are consumed just before and after resistance exercise, the presence of these nutrients dramatically amplified the anabolic effect of the workout by as much as 400%. Recent research by legendary sports scientist Dr. John Ivey at the University of Texas, Austin, confirms that the consumption of the right carbohydrates and proteins after exercise will set the stage for rapid restoration of muscle glycogen and therefore how well you perform in your next workout. Muscle glycogen is a key factor in athletic performance. Our ability to perform at our best every day depends largely on our muscle glycogen stores. Improper glycogen restoration is the reason why we see people tired and irritable all the time when they start an intense exercise and diet plan. Most fail miserably at it. What about long-term effects? You might ask. Dr. Paul Cribb was able to provide some clear answers to these questions with his research at Victoria University, Australia. He designed and completed several clinical studies using regular people living in the real world that demonstrated making the right nutritional choices at the right time can profoundly affect the results they want to achieve. In fact, in some instances, the results achieved with nutrient timings were almost double the norm. People fail to understand that a workout is merely a signal to adapt to stress. Exercise is a good short-term stress. However, it depletes the blood, muscles and other organs of key nutrients. An ever-increasing amount of research suggests that this exercise-induced scenario sets the stage for a unique metabolic window of opportunity, a time when the introduction of the right nutrients will speed recovery and amplify the adaptation response to exercise. The metabolic window of opportunity seems to last for approximately 3 hours. If key nutrients are supplied in the correct amounts during this time, they will be directed towards muscle recovery and energy restoration, not fat storage. The laws of human physiology suggest that the body will attempt to overcompensate to any form of exercise-induced stress. By working with this overcompensatory nature of our physiology, we can design nutrition plans that not only enhance recovery but also accelerate results from exercise. The bottom line is, when performed correctly, nutritional timing will get you better, faster results. The secret to a good nutrition plan that achieves fantastic permanent results is not about avoiding bad foods and only eating good foods. The secret is to make the right choice at the right time. At the heart of this are nutrition, timing and metabolic window. If a person gets it right each day and those days turn into weeks, a synergistic effect develops and the long-term results become clear. Meal choices during this time must create a blood hormone profile and high concentration of nutrients that accelerate recovery at the cellular level. To learn more about the metabolic window, please visit mpbody.com, link in the description. I highly recommend their courses. I have personally done their courses and have benefited greatly. If you found this video valuable, please don't forget to like and share this video with someone you think will benefit. Also, please do consider subscribing to my channel to get more videos like this.